Locally grown food is better for the environment for a whole host of reasons. There's the obvious reason of there's less petroleum used in shipping it because you're shipping from a farm right outside of town rather than from a farm in California. There's accountability. If the farmers are close by, we can see their practices and we can make decisions on whether or not to support a farmer who's using good practices or bad practices. And if I can't see farmers in California, but I can see farmers in Rockingham County, and if I don't appreciate one farmer's practice, I can vote with my dollars and choose to not buy their produce. So there's environmental accountability, and it saves green space. If we're valuing farms in this area, that means farmland outside the city of Harrisonburg is not being gobbled up for subdivisions and developments and golf courses and things like that.
I think I would like to tell students that they should shoot for trying to eat local to the extent that they can. And one thing that we'd like to point out to them today is that they can grow something. And even if it's only a basil plant, they can chop that basil into a salad, or they can chop that basil into their cheese on their pizza, or they can chop that basil into a box of macaroni and cheese. They can do a lot of different things with a little bit of green, adds a great flavor and a little bit more nutrition. And so sometimes I think eating local sounds really big because we think, I have to buy everything and I have to buy it all at the farmer's market. And that's not really true. I think that is one place to buy, and I would encourage people to buy at the farmer's market, to buy at the food co-op. But they can also grow in a very small area in their own backyard, even in a big can. You could grow a tomato plant, that kind of thing. And so, and I think students, if they can begin to taste things and try things, they'll realize that they're really good. I think that students sometimes don't realize how good things taste, and they have to learn to try things and taste them for themselves.
Fair trade, basically is just that. It's a way of trading fairly, typically in developing countries. So it offers artisans and farmers in developing countries a marketplace where they can sell their goods, or their, in the case of coffee or chocolate, their products in a market where folks have a little bit more disposable income. About buying fair trade items, students should know that their money is actually, it's not going to some corporation, someone's high-paid salary. It's going to people who are truly in need in developing countries where they, don't have things that we take for granted, like clean water to drink and enough food to eat. So basically, it's helping those in need.
It is about 8 million more people on our planet every single month. 8 million is the population of the entire state of Virginia. That's like the whole state of Virginia showing up every single month on this planet. And everybody in there is going to be on the planet for about 77 years, going to be eating their oatmeal, making CO2, and getting ready to drive their cars. What's that going to do to oil consumption? It's going to make it go quick.
Is there any way that you could eat today's sunshine? What is the way that you could eat today's sunshine? Who said that? Jeremy said grow your own food. If you go out to your garden and you grab a carrot, that is this year's 2011 sunshine. Thank you, Jeremy. Hopefully you learned that at Bowl of Good, right? Because part of what Bowl of Good is all about is trying to get local food into your bodies for you to burn for energy, okay? And when you produce carbon dioxide, guess what? Maybe it's next summer's carrot crop that just sucks the CO2 down. At the end of the day, my argument to you, okay, what is green? How green are you? And could you be greener? Is partly just being very curious about how you're fueled. Be mindful of your food, whether it's food for your car, food for your plug outlets in your home, or food for your bodies. Maybe it should be slightly more recent sunshine. My philosophy in life is the more information people have, the better choices they can make. And I don't think that there are any right and wrong choices that people can make, but there are definitely some better choices and maybe some worse choices. But I want people to be as mindful as possible about the choices that they're making. And so this is a classic program where we're basically pushing information down maybe a little bit lower than James Madison University is used to, with the high school grades or the middle school grades. So, but these kids are sponges. They love this information. They eat it up, and I think that they can make wiser choices, more mindful choices with this information. And hopefully they're starting conversations with their friends. Hey, I learned that coal is just 300 million year old sunshine. Or, hey, I learned that plants are just carbon pumps and they're basically injecting sugar into the ground. So, if they can have those conversations with their friends and their families and maybe their teachers, that's a great thing.